He did very pioneer work in the 1980s in the use of Hartree-Fock to study the model of chemical and catalytic reaction of cell-like chemistry. In the last year, he has been using DFT to study the catalysis associated with vanadium, silicium, and magnesium oxide. And today he's going to be talking about sites and mechanism of meta-activation of magnesium oxide surfaces. Professor Sauer?
Thank you very much. I would like to thank the organizers for the invitation to this keynote lecture, and the subject has already been announced. Motivated by this raw material change in chemical industry, where interest is renewed in forming CC bonds from C1 species. And one of the ways to do that is the oxidative coupling of methane, which got a lot of interest in the early 80s, but then the interest declined because one could not get beyond a certain selectivity and yield. Many different oxides have been studied, and almost every oxide is doing the job somehow. And here I have highlighted two materials. One, is this pointer pointing? Does not seem so. So what can we do on the pointer? Anyway, it's highlighted in red. There's a more complex material which is kind of promising for maybe even industrial use. And then there's a material which is possibly the simplest one, lithium-doped magnesium oxide. And in Berlin, in a common, no, don't do that, just give me pointer. Okay, so we need this. Give anybody a pointer which is not connected to anything?
Joachim.
The finger. Yes, this is something. Yeah. Okay, good. So, this is a simple material which is lithium doped, and in Berlin there's a center of excellence, is Unicat. Did I do that? This is a very, I mean, you all will fall asleep, right? Anyway, so what we try to do is, we try to come up with an improved catalyst, so we are looking at the more promising ones, but at the same time, we would like to get atomistic understanding. And for that, we are looking at the simplest system we can think of, and this is lithium-doped magnesium oxide, for which there's established mechanism based on the pioneering work of Jack Lunsford. And the idea is that by lithium doping, you are creating these oxygen radical sites, and there's evidence that these oxygen radical sites exist, at least if you have prepared the material. And the idea is that these sites, these oxygen radical sites, would abstract hydrogen, and methyl radicals would be released in the gas phase. And typical for this reaction is that you have a part of the reaction in the gas phase and part activation steps at the surface, and the question is, among others, how do they work together? Now, if you look at this decisive step, there are few observations. There are observed apparent barriers where people were looking in particular reactions, C2 hydrocarbon formation, or the hydrogen deuterium exchange for methane. And the numbers seem to agree, which was what Richard Ketlow was calculating with DFT when he looked at lithium-doped magnesium oxide surface. However, when microkinetic simulations were made, they arrived at the conclusion that the barriers would be much higher than obtained before. And also when our colleagues at the Technical University in Berlin, Shoemaker, were doing such experiments, they found high barriers but also a large variation of the barrier when they did the measurements with aging of the catalyst. So there seemed to be a problem, and we wanted to get some information. Before I am telling you what we did, just a few words about this microkinetic stimulation. So what is done is you have a large number of surface reactions, which you see here. You have an additional equally large number of gas phase reaction, but you have experimental data and you need to fit. So it's not very practical to fit a model with more than 100 parameters, rate pre-exponentials and Arrhenius barriers. And then also the meaning of the parameters become questionable. So what is done is reducing the number of parameters by scaling relations to descriptors. You see here in these two models about 13 and 16. And you have to assume a site density, and then you fit the parameters, and this was a way how these Arrhenius barriers have been obtained. And so the conclusion would be, you can explain experimental observations if you assume an activation barrier like 140 kilojoules per mole for the generation of methyl radicals on the surface, and you also assume a certain site density, which is also a fitting parameter. But you do not have any information about the nature of the active site. You only know if you make this assumption, you can fit the available data. And therefore the question is now, and this is the opportunity here for ab initio quantum chemistry, can we confirm this fitting result? So the problem is that we have many steps. You have seen an illustration for what I put now in more general terms. What we could provide from the calculation are pre-exponentials and activation barriers for elementary steps, which is only in exceptional cases obtained from experiment to get this information for individual reaction steps. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to get a reliable number for this activation barrier on the site postulated by Jack Lunsdorf. And for this we have always two problems. Is our method reliable? And is our model on which we do the calculation representative? So what we did, we start with small models, as you see here, these cube type models for magnesium oxide. The advantage of this model is that we can use very good methods and do not trust some DFT, so we can use wave function based methods which are converging to some extent. We can then embed this model in a point charge environment and do more things for proper embedding. And finally, we can use periodic boundary conditions, and all the three systems can be studied then on DFT, for which we have verified that we are getting small errors for these barriers. And now if we do the calculation, we see we start with a barrier like 60. If we embed, we go to 40. If we go to the periodic model, we go to 27, and we switch on van der Waals contributions, we are going down to 12. And this shows that we have a problem. So we have then checked what happens if our active site is not at the terrace, but at corner sites, and we conclude that there may be changes of the barrier for the numbers which we see. Now, the situation is as follows. We have the previous estimates of the order of 74 kilojoule per mole from DFT. Now our predicted range is like between 7 and 27 kilojoule per mole, depending on the morphological situation. And this plus minus 6 is our remaining uncertainty due to the quantum chemical methods. But this is certainly a problem compared to this 85 to 160 kilojoule per mole we see in the different experiments. So what can we conclude? We know that the predictions for gas phase clusters are all in agreement with experimental observation from mass spectrometric experiments. Again, a confirmation of our method. So at the end, we can only conclude either this abstraction from methane is not rate determining, has nothing to do with the mechanism, or the site that has been postulated is not the active site. And this was our suspicion, and therefore our colleagues have done experiments with magnesium oxide that did not contain any lithium doping. So, and what you see here, Raimund Horn results, you compare the pristine magnesium oxide and the lithium doped magnesium oxide, and you see if you ramp the temperature at which you start to consume oxygen and you start to convert methane is the same for both materials. The activity level is different, but the temperature in which it happens is the same. And also, if you look at the production of C2 species, you also see that for the both materials, the temperature is the same. So that means that it's very likely that the same active sites are doing the job in the two different materials. Now, what has been done now in the laboratory of Robert Schlögl was using differently prepared magnesium oxides which show a different morphology, because our suspicion was, what can it be? If it's on pure magnesium oxide, probably a morphological defect. And what they always also found that the morphology was